I mean, you want to talk about a complete mess. Not even a bad mess at that. Good to have you back, Shyamalan. Good to have you back, my friend. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zack, and I love discussing cinema and all things entertainment. As always, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you enjoy your stay, because coming up, guys, oh boy, we're looking at Old, the very latest psychological thriller added to the canon of the one and only M. Night Shyamalan. It stars quite the cast of talent, I must say. And Old is a thriller all about a family on a tropical holiday who discover that the secluded beach where they're relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day. Keyword here is somehow. As in... There's points where even this movie doesn't know how this happens. Seriously, there's so many instances throughout Old where characters will just be going like, I don't know, I have no idea, I don't know what to say. Seriously, sounds like little toddler Zack running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Yeah, have I mentioned that I think Shyamalan's a better director than a writer? I feel like I've said that somewhere. Because this script, guys... I mean, okay, let me just say for the record that I still really respect what Shyamalan has done as a filmmaker, especially for this community of cinephiles. I mean, seriously, he has inspired so many people. But not only does his scripts for Old feel quite repetitive in hindsight, but Jesus Christ, this stuff is batshit insane. I mean, they're aging a year for every half hour they're on this beach. Like, how absurd can you get? I will admit, this is a really unique idea that I've never seen put to film before, so credit where it's due. I will admit though, the first act of this film is an absolute chore to get through. I was really worried thinking this was going to be on the same level of boredom as an After Earth, honestly with hints of similar tone in the dialogue as Lady in the Water. But then once this group actually lands on the beach, to quote good old JR, business does pick up. That's where shit really hits the fan. And oh boy, does it hit the fan fast. And that may be one of my biggest praises for Old, actually. The stakes and the urgency of this film, undeniably high. I mean, every single event happening down at that beach, there just feels like... there's always so much at stake here. And not only that, it is just so damn entertaining. I think all these actors play a big part in that. They are throwing their freaking all into this movie. Especially my dude Alex Wolff, who you might remember from Hereditary. He basically plays the older version of this 6-year-old boy who winds up on the beach. And Alex Wolff can be very childish at times, for lack of a better term. He was super entertaining to watch. Everybody was. Now the signature Shyamalan plot twist, yep, it's there. And no, I am not spoiling it. I dare not spoil it, actually, because I don't want to ruin the experience for you guys when you go and see this in the theater. But logically speaking, the twist I actually think makes sense. Granted, very similar to The Village, I did kind of predict this twist about halfway through the film, but honestly though, every Shyamalan film has a plot twist, so I don't really think it's fair to judge one of his films just based on how effective the twist was. I want to judge it based off all of its overall merits, you know what I mean? All I'll say about the twist is this, my friends. This may be a hot take, but I didn't mind it. Didn't mind it whatsoever. With all that in mind, I've alluded to this already. Another huge praise that I can give this movie is the whole idea of it. The concept of this movie, which in itself is based off a famous graphic novel by the name of Sandcastle, this is all really interesting to me. A magic beach where you can age at breakneck speed. There are just so many neat things you can play around with as a filmmaker, which I will admit, Shyamalan certainly must have had a ton of fun with, and this will play into a huge issue I have with the movie. But I only loved some of the things he did with his cinematography and his direction. As certain characters age throughout the film, there are certain things that Shyamalan will do with this clever filmmaking to really make us feel like we're in this character's shoes. Just as an example, and this is ever so mild of a spoiler, but there's one character who kind of starts to go blind, and the lens will actually shoot it from his POV, and certain characters will look like big blurry blobs. That's the kind of filmmaking I really like, and there's certainly flashes of that throughout this film. There's also flashes of where it just felt like Shyamalan was showing off. And I hate saying this, but this is the kind of thing that turned me off to Midsommar a couple of years ago. I mean, at least Old is more entertaining than Midsommar, so I'll give it that. But there's a ton of camera work in this movie where it felt to me like Shyamalan was just showing off. And again, I hate saying this, but it kind of got annoying after a while. You know, just seeing these circular tracking shots over and over. Seeing wide aerials, beautiful wide aerials at that, zooming in on the beach over and over. It just got really tedious after a while. And there's a few shots that didn't even look that good. There's things that'll be completely out of frame. And quite frankly, there's points where I don't even know what the hell they were shooting. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. All of that being said, Old is not a bad movie whatsoever. It is far from Shyamalan's worst. I would say it's probably middle of the road in terms of Shyamalan's entire canon. And admittedly, guys, I can't believe I'm about to say this. This just might be Shyamalan's most emotionally grounded film since Unbreakable. I'm serious. With how this film concludes and the family dynamic, the themes of mortality and never taking any moment for granted, it all adds up to a really, really beautiful and poignant finale. Clearly, I do enjoy Old overall. I was thoroughly entertained by it. I can't wait to watch it again. I'm gonna give Old a C+. Still not a perfect movie by any stretch, though. I think it's still super awesome, the fact that you can go to a theater and see a new film from the guy that made The Sixth Sense. But I mean, when you compare The Sixth Sense to a masterpiece like Old, it's night and day! Yeah, that was a bad one. I'll see myself out. Bye, guys. But this is all just one guy's opinion. What did you guys think of Old? Do you guys agree with me? Did you hate it? And I'm also curious, what is your favorite film that M. Night Shyamalan has ever made? And I've already reviewed every single one of his films in the build-up to Old. But as I've said, I love discussing the cinema and all things entertainment with you guys, so let's go ahead and continue that discussion down in the comments. And hey, if this is your first time visiting the channel today, thank you all so much for clicking on the thumbnail. It really, really does mean the world. And do consider hitting the subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, because it's totally free. I mean, what's stopping you? And it would be also really, really awesome if you left a thumbs up on your way out. That would be incredible. And as always, guys, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. You guys are the best. And with all that being said, back talk, commence.